Don't mind the argument. Who's boss around here anywhere? You just stay here tonight and get some rest and let me worry about those roughnecks downstairs.
Oh, yeah, well, that's just going to make me feel fine. Listen, I will feel worse knowing that you're down there working all alone.
There isn't that much work to do. I didn't have more than a dozen customers last night, and most of them settled for beer and sandwiches, and there'll probably be even less tonight.
Yeah, well, you'll have at least one less customer tonight. Draper's on night duty at the clinic.
Which means Mr. Sharkey will be back asking about his little blonde cutie, no doubt.
Oh, God, please tell him I'm worse. Tell him I'm dying. My fever is 112. Oh, God, he's the last person in the world I want to see.
Yeah, well, your husband has to put up with him all the time. I don't know how he manages that. An attorney pretending to be a hospital orderly. That's the sort of thing cops do.
Yeah, well, he sort of fancies himself a detective these days.
Well, at least this time he's not on a real criminal case, right? He just wants to find out if Matt Sharkey will admit to being the father of, what's-her-name's baby.
Emily's. He's not going to either. I know he won't. I mean, why should he admit something like that to Draper?
Ooh, just to brag, maybe?
Maybe.
That woman knows what the truth is. Why don't you get the answer out of her?
Don't think we haven't tried. If Matt Sharkey is the father of Emily Michael's baby, she wouldn't admit it in a million years.
And she wants to have your husband be the father.
She wants my husband, period.
Some people. You know, as long as I live, I will never really know enough about people. By the time I get in that old rocking chair, I'm not going to know a darn thing.
Well, there's only one thing I know. The thought of Emily Michaels still being around here makes me sick, and the thought that she may even decide to go back to the hospital makes it worse.
And you're afraid she might tell them who your husband really is?
I'm sure she would. If she knew that Draper was at that hospital, it would take her about a minute to find out what he's doing there, and she'd want him out of there immediately.
Well, you want the same thing, don't you?
Sure I do. I want him to leave, but I want him to leave of his own free will, not because he's been caught.
Of Night is brought to you by Head & Shoulders, regular and new conditioning formula for extra manageability. And by Duncan Hines Layer Cake Mixes, Light and Moist Deluxe 2 and Extra Moist Pudding Recipe.
Got a minute? Duncan Hines got a new idea. Delicious new desserts with American Dash. With just one pan, one Duncan Hines mix, no more than 3 ingredients, and no more than 35 minutes of your time, you can make a velvety and vanilla dessert easily, like this tunnel cake. Start with Duncan Hines Angel Food Cake Mix. Bake in a 2-pan. Slice off a 1-inch layer. Hollow out a trench. Fill the trench with a mix of chocolate pudding, milk, and whipped topping. Replace top and frost with remaining topping. Wasn't that easy?
Delicious. Some cook.
Duncan Hines Desserts with American Dash. In magazines now.
Watch them dash through it.
Sometimes, if you heard what people think.
Can't take his eyes off me.
Pretty, but she's scratching her head.
He's really impressed with this report.
No flakes, but that itch, probably dandruff.
Think I'd like to meet him.
I think she needs Head & Shoulders.
Even if you don't see flakes or no one tells you, you could be telling them you've got dandruff every time you scratch your head. Studies show 9 out of 10 people have some. But Head & Shoulders every time handles that itch and treats hair gently. So all people notice is healthy-looking hair.
Great-looking lady. Great hair. Hi.
Hi.
Head and Shoulders, because that little itch could be telling you something.
Hi. We don't start serving anything till 6:30.
Oh, that's all right. I'll wait. If you don't mind, that is.
Well, I haven't even set the tables up yet.
I wanted to get here as soon as possible to see how my friend June is doing.
Oh, well, she's still got the flu, I guess.
Oh, what a shame. Has she seen a doctor?
She figures she'll be all right if she just stays in bed.
Well, that means that nobody's looking after her. Maybe I ought to go up and see how she's doing.
I don't think so. I just saw her a few minutes ago, and she said all she wanted to do was sleep.
Oh, what a shame. And here her friend is, without able to help at all. What room is she in?
We've only got one room. Look, why don't you come back a little later?
Do you think I could possibly have a cup of coffee?
Well, like I said,
I see some brewing over there. Could I, please?
Sure. All right.
Thanks. One room. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
What are you doing here?
Gee, you used to be glad to see me.
Well, I meant I wasn't expecting to see you.
Why, didn't you think I was coming back?
I didn't think your new boss would like it.
Skyler Whitney isn't my new boss. I haven't said yes yet. So I'm still among the unemployed.
Just like me.
And Martine.
Martine will find something to do. She has a way of landing on her feet.
Do you know where she spent last night?
Sounds like I'm gonna find out.
She was at my place. She had nowhere else to go. She didn't even have money for a hotel room.
Why didn't she hawk the Whitney jewels?
Because she gave them all back. Don't you realize that? She gave back every valuable thing Skyler Whitney ever gave to her. All for your sake.
Well, there's one hunk of jewelry she didn't get from Sky Whitney. A wedding ring. She got that from a guy named Collier Wells.
I know. But that was a mistake, too. A mistake she made long before she even knew you.
A mistake she failed to rectify. Do you know what that means, Jody?
How could she do anything? The man she was married to disappeared as a fugitive from the law.
There are ways to divorce husbands, especially if they're fugitives from the law. But obviously she didn't want to do that, did she? She just wanted to keep on lying about being married, and she would have kept on lying about it if this cop hadn't spilled the beans.
Look, Martine feels really bad about keeping the truth from you. But she didn't tell Skyler Whitney either.
Oh, hey, that makes me feel better.
She didn't think she could tell you about Collier Wells, not without giving away her own past, about the things that she did in Europe.
Things that she did for love, Jody. For love, not for money. She must have been really crazy about this guy to steal with him. And the only reason she went away with Sky Whitney is to protect her husband. Did she tell you that, too?
You really don't understand this, do you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to find out a little bit more.
How?
I've got a meeting in a few minutes with the guy who blew the whistle on her, Damian Tyler. Calvin set it up.
You going out? But you still haven't told me your opinion.
About what?
About, Skyler Whitney's offer. You know, to make me the lead dancer in his new company.
What do you want me to say?
Well, I sort of have to know if you approve. Don't you remember when I first came here when you wanted to help me? You even drew up a contract.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. Now, where did I put that? Oh, I remember this contract. Yeah, I agreed to guide your career, didn't I? Well, I guess you don't want to do that anymore.
What are you doing?
I'm letting you guide your own career, Jody.
You know, I want to change from shortstop to a pair of shorts and a top. I just whistled with this. I knew we were
Just Whistle. It's a razor designed for a woman.
It's light. And see these ridges? It won't slip out of your hand in the shower. They had gently pivots to hug your legs so the twin blades can shave you close. Just Whistle, the tough razor, in a pretty case. If you want to shave slick as a whistle, Just whistle.
With Comtrex, you may almost forget you have a cold.
I have a cold, but thanks to Comtrex, I sure don't feel like it.
My cold is bad, but with Comtrex, it's almost like it's not there at all.
You could take any of these for a cold, but for one with nasal congestion, runny nose, aches, and coughs, Comtrex Multi-Symptom Cold Reliever is better. All by itself, Comtrex relieves all the major cold symptoms more than Dristan or Contac or Bayer. Try Comtrex in tablets, capsules, or liquid.
Then it's true, Skyler, you're no longer seeing Martine.
Yes, it's true. We have agreed to disagree.
You don't seem very distressed by it.
Well, what's the use? When something is over, it's over. There's no use in shedding tears about it. One must just attempt to carry on.
That sounds like common sense, but I can't believe it's quite so cut and dried. I assumed you cared for Martine.
And you liked her, didn't you?
Yes, indeed, I did.
In fact, you thought she was much too good for me.
Is that why she left you?
Well, she didn't leave, Geraldine. It was I who suggested that our arrangement was no longer satisfactory.
Well, whatever. Still, I'm rather troubled by it. I really think Martine would have been very good for you, especially if you could have made your relationship a bit more solid.
You mean marry her? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that your ward, Raven, is too good for me?
The truth is, Skyler, Raven is the real reason I came to talk to you this afternoon. As you know, I have sort of taken responsibility for Raven ever since her mother's death, and now that she is without her husband and her child.
And you're worried, is that it? You're afraid that your spoiled nephew might take away your responsibility.
I'm quite willing to hand that responsibility over to someone else, if it's the right person.
Ah, now we come to the heart of the matter.
Well, I am rather troubled by it, Skyler. And I was even more troubled when I learned that you and Martine were no longer seeing each other.
The phrase is living together, Auntie. However, let me give you a piece of good news. Raven is not going to be my live-in roommate. She's turned down the offer. Now, does that make you feel better?
Well, it surprises me, but then Raven always surprises me.
And it pleases you?
Yes, indeed, it does.
Well, let me just tell you something that you ought to know. Raven's decision was not really a moral one. It was tactical.
What do you mean by that?
I know exactly what Raven is doing. See, she believes that by refusing to live with me, she will induce me to take the next logical step down the wedding aisle.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I assure you that is the name of Raven's game. And she's welcome to play it. You see, I am rather expert at that sort of thing. And she doesn't have a chance. Excuse me. Hello?
Is this Mr. Whitney?
Yes, it is. Who's this?
Mr. Whitney, my name is Damian Tyler. I'm with the Monticello Police Department.
Oh, well, don't tell me you've towed away the limo.
No, sir. I'm not with the traffic division. Actually, I'd like to discuss something else with you at your convenience.
Concerning?
I'm looking for some information about a mutual acquaintance of ours, Mr. Whitney. If you could just give me an appointment whenever you're free to see me.
Well, as it turns out, Mr. Tyler, I don't have any free time. Perhaps you should call next week. Actually, next month would be a bit better.
Look, I promise to meet you wherever you say, and I'll just take a few minutes of your time.
Who is this mutual acquaintance?
All right. Maybe I'd better call you back at another date. And thank you.
Greasy dirt can be a problem all over the kitchen. How do you clean it?
Ammonia.
Ammonia. What if I told you Top Job in water cleans greasy dirt, straight ammonia can't?
I disagree. You'd have to show me.
Ammonia's good for some jobs, but not greasy dirt.
Top Job did it.
It did?
Took it out better than ammonia.
That's incredible. I'm really impressed. Top Job is definitely the product I'm going to use for greasy dirt.
Let Top Job cut clean through greasy dirt around your kitchen.
Doing Scott's laundry to impress him?
Can't hurt. He dirtied dishwashing my car.
Then better wash in the right temperature, warm, with a detergent like All Temperature Cheer.
Says who?
The Arrow Company, America's shirt maker.
Really?
Read their care label. They approve washing the Cheer way. Cheer cleans and helps keep clothes looking great.
Cheer's super. Scott'll be impressed.
Right. Now about your cooking.
Who cooks?
Hey, your folks got a new set of wheels.
Come on! We brought you something.
Puritan oil?
Puritan's part of our diet to fight cholesterol.
And it makes food taste great.
I use corn oil. Puritan has more polyunsaturates than corn oil. It also looks lighter. Tastes lighter.
Delicious. You young folks really know what's cooking.
Puritan, a delicious part of your diet to fight cholesterol.
Suppose I could get some more coffee? It's good coffee.
You're the only one who thinks so.
Well, I'm not much of a judge. I don't drink it too often.
Well, you've been doing a pretty good job of it this afternoon. Not your third cup, but who's counting?
I hope you don't mind my being here.
Well, it just seems to me that it must be pretty boring for you. I'll tell you what. I'll go check with the kitchen and see if they can get anything up for you, even though it's only 10 to 6.
Oh, no. Don't bother. It's really not necessary.
Ah, it's all right. I'll see what they can get ready.
All right. Thank you.
How can I possibly stop worrying about her? Oh, Draper, don't even think about Sharky. If he comes in tonight, Sid's gonna tell him that I'm sicker than I was last night, but I'm afraid it's closer to the truth tonight. Oh, no. Listen, I think that's room service. That's my dinner. Hold on a minute. Coming. Oh, good. Sid, I really...
April, hi. Imagine running into you here.
Excuse me. Call me back later, okay?
Dad?
What are you doing here, Emily?
Isn't that funny? It's the same question I was going to ask you.
How did you get up here? Don't tell me Sid let you up, because I won't believe it.
Oh, April, stop. I was just worried about you. I mean, I didn't know what was happening, why you'd left Monticello and come to this funny place, and here you are using a different name and all.
Yeah, well, I repeat, it's absolutely none of your business. Now, if you mind...
You know that woman who runs the place downstairs, Sid? She told me that Draper had been here and that he went to that hospital, the Rexford Clinic. What was he doing there?
Excuse me.
Did he go to see Matt Sharkey?
Yes. As a matter of fact, he did. He went to see your old friend, Matt Sharkey, to see what Matt Sharkey knew about you.
And what happened? April, I just can't believe it. You're still clutching at the same silly old straw. You think just because Matt Sharkey was nice to me, because he helped me get out of that
You
place.
want to see Draper, you're going to have to go back to Monticello because that's where he is.
Oh, really? He's gone back home,
Yes.
has he? No, I don't believe you. Draper wouldn't leave you alone. I think he's here, someplace. And I think you think that you can accomplish something by staying, but you can't, because the truth is still the truth.
Get out, Emily.
All right, April. I'll leave. But I'm not leaving East Meadows until I find out what you two are up to. If you think you can blame the paternity of this baby on someone else, you're wrong.
Excuse me. Hello?
Oh, hello. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
I was looking for Martine Duval.
Oh, well, Martine isn't here right now, but if you'd like to wait.
If I may?
Sure. So, are you a friend of Martine's?
Oh, we met once at the Vienna State Opera. My name is Cynthia.
Oh, hi, Cynthia. I'm Jody. Are you a dancer, too?
Yes. Oh, a slightly stiff dancer at the moment. I've been on a plane for the last few hours.
You visiting Monticello?
Just for the day. Then I'm going to New York.
To dance?
Yes.
You know, you look awfully familiar. Cynthia. You wouldn't happen to be Cynthia Gregory.
Yes.
You're the principal dancer in the American Ballet Theater.
Have you ever seen us perform?
Oh, no, but I've heard so much about you. My gosh, I can't believe you're in this studio.
What was that music you were playing before? It's really lovely.
You know, I really don't know what it is. It's Gavin's record. He just got it. That's Gavin Wiley. This is his studio. Just put it on here.
I think that's the Albinoni Adagio. Be doing that without a warm-up. Ooh, that music was so inviting.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, whenever I hear music, I just want to dance.
Well, I can see you're dedicated. Are you a student, or?
Well, I was almost professional. I had this job offer with a new dance company here in Monticello. But some things happened and, well... In fact, you know, Martine was supposed to be their principal dancer, but she's not anymore.
That's too bad.
Actually, I've had another job offer with this company, but I'm not really sure if I should take it.
Why not?
Well, it doesn't seem right. You see, Martine and the man who owns the theater, they're really not very friendly. And Gavin, my teacher, well, he doesn't think I should take it either. So it looks like I'm going to be a student for a while.
I see.
Gee, it would be so wonderful if I could dance on a real stage in front of a real audience. Be like a principal dancer like you. You know, I know this is a terribly unfair question, but what would you do if you were me?
But I'm not you, Jody. All I know about you is you love to dance. In fact, you seem to love it very much. I wonder why you would let anything stand in your way.
Yeah, that's true. How can I let anything stand in my way?
I like raisins because they're sweet and chewy, but I can't figure out how they make them. They're cute and real easy to share, but I can't figure out how they make them. Raisins don't have artificial additives, artificial flavoring, artificial anything. Raisins don't even have preservatives. I can't figure out how they make them.
Raisins, the snack as natural as the sun that made them.
Mom doesn't mind when I ask her for raisins. I guess she knows how they make them.
Raisins from California, nature's candy.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you.
Everyone loves French's, the one and only Sunshine Mustard.
Please don't take my sunshine away. Delicious.
Gloria's announcement that she might be pregnant comes as a surprise to everyone, especially Mike, on All in the Family tonight at 7:30. Then, as new landlords of an apartment house, Fred and Lamont run into some strange tenants on Sanford & Son tonight at 7 on Channel 48.
As far as I can tell, Martine Duval was never forced into a life of crime any more than she was forced to marry this guy, Collier Wells.
So you consider her actions voluntary, is that it?
Of course.
How do you know all this stuff?
Well, I first heard about the case from a friend of mine with the French police, the same guy I worked on that hitman job with. He worked on the case for 6 months before he finally figured out that every time Martine Duval danced at a party, the house was robbed.
Some coincidence.
Oh, they were very clever. Sometimes the theft would go undiscovered for days or even weeks or months. Collier Wells never took too much. He never stole more than he could carry in the pants of his dress suit.
Hey, well, you can get some pretty expensive things into a pocket.
Well, he had an eye for the best.
He sure did.
Look, did this guy ever say anything to you about Martine herself?
Well, he remembered that she was very beautiful. That was easy.
Yeah.
And she used her beauty to her best advantage. She always made sure that everyone's eyes were on her when she danced. Even the servants seemed hypnotized by her.
Quite a little gimmick.
This guy said that she and Wells... Well, this is just hearsay.
Go ahead, say it.
Well, he said that they seemed like a very popular couple. Of course, that was understandable. I mean, they were young, lively, handsome, evidently wealthy, talented, and very much in love.
She seemed to enjoy herself, Detective.
Well, that was my impression, that one and only time I saw them.
And when did you see them?
In Paris, at the house that Sky Whitney rented.
This was their last appearance, wasn't it?
As far as I can tell. They seemed to me to be the perfect young couple. As if they really enjoyed their life.
And in love?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Well, Jody, come on in.
I just stopped by to tell you that I've made my decision about your offer.
And?
The answer is yes. I'd very much like the chance.
Well, that's wonderful, Jody. It's just wonderful.
When your child is hot on the trail, Fisher-Price makes it more fun with hiking equipment that really works.
Hi, Grandpa.
Center City, Philadelphia. For details, call 563-7577.